Chronic dissatisfaction. This is something that you might relate with. And what chronic dissatisfaction is it's a type of condition where you are constantly feeling dissatisfied with life. You have these feelings of you're really trying, but you're never getting anywhere. You feel like you are stagnating. You feel restless. You feel like it's like your ambitions, your actions are not matching, and it just feels like everyone else is moving, but then you are not moving. Yeah, and I know some of you can relate. I personally can relate to that story and that definition of chronic dissatisfaction. This is because our environment, the environment that we live in right now, is very stimulated and it's very out there. So people achieve things and they put them on social media. The environment that we live in is made up of like highly ambitious people and highly successful people, and in this society now, people are not hiding their success. So sometimes if you are undergoing chronic dissatisfaction, you will tend to have feelings of comparison, and you might compare yourself with people within your environment. And guys, these feelings of chronic dissatisfaction are not even nice. It just feels like you're moving around but not achieving a lot. So I've been challenging myself lately that whenever I get these feelings of dissatisfaction, when I feel like my goals are not moving according to the way I have planned, and especially when you're close to turning 30. I don't know what happens with turning 30, but then you just feel like, oh my god, I had plans. I wanted to buy a house, I wanted to be a CEO somewhere, I wanted to be a founder, but then you just feel like nothing has moved. And the practices that I'm taking upon myself to reduce the feelings of dissatisfaction include keeping a gratitude journal. So I know people trash that activity and people trash that practice, but guys, you sitting and actually recalling the things that have gone well, because you'll notice that in as much as yes, you're feeling that, I don't think that you are actually facing failure on a day-to-day basis, or you're facing failure in general. I think that there are still things that you can celebrate about yourself, about your environment, about your friends, and taking some time during the day to practice gratitude. And this could be keeping a journal somewhere, or just taking some 10 minutes out of your work schedule, or taking some 10 minutes before you get to work or you get to your business, and just internalizing the good things that have happened to you. It could be you even had an early morning and you've not had early mornings in a while, but then at this particular point you feel like achieving, waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning was a win for you. Imagine, just be grateful that was, that happened for you. And so keeping that practice alive is going to shift the way you view life. You will notice that you are actually making some strides, and that it's not all a loss. It's not that you are not, you're not succeeding. It's just that maybe you also had not taken the time to look at what you've been able to do. Sometimes we do feel these feelings of dissatisfaction because maybe we made some, wrong choices when we had an opportunity to, make a better choice at something. So it's also a chance for you to stop and examine how you lead your life. If you're presented with an option of making a good choice, just go ahead and make that good choice. I know that some bad choices can make you feel like, okay, it's like you don't want to delay gratification and experience the rewards of making good choices in future. So for instance, I can talk about maybe you could invest in something, but then because maybe there's a trip that's happening right now, you feel like, let me go for this trip, this girl's trip that's right now, this boy's trip that's happening right now. But then you go, you spend all your money, and then you come back and then you realize, oh my gosh, I've not made any investments. You could have practiced some delayed gratification and waited and, invested in something with that money instead of maybe doing that trip at that particular time, or, like saved for longer so that you can afford to invest and afford to also go for a trip. But then if you're just in a position where, you are constantly picking the wrong choices, then it's very easy for you to feel very dissatisfied very fast, because you're just like, but me, I'm always here. I'm not moving. My life is not moving. I'm not moving up the career ladder. I'm not moving in my business. I'm not moving in my friendships. It just feels like it's a mess. And then there's a practice that is also really downplayed. This is doing affirmations. And guys, affirmations can really change your life. So I was listening to someone who was saying that change happens from inside out, and sometimes we wait for people in our environment, external things to validate how we are doing in our lives, but then starting to look inside and starting to talk to yourself and be like, I'm beautiful, I am handsome, I am successful, I am, I keep my promises, I keep my commitments, I'm showing up for myself. These are affirmations that will actually start to build you from the inside, and then slowly by slowly you start noticing that, oh, kumbe, I am moving and I am moving forward. So just to recap, the 3 things that you can do to reduce the feelings of chronic dissatisfaction is, first of all, you can pick up a gratitude practice. So this could be keeping a journal or picking out some time in the day where you practice gratitude. The second thing you can do is, whenever you're presented with the option of a bad choice or a not so good choice and a good choice, be sure to pick the good choice. It's in the long run, it will help you become more satisfied with your life. And then the third thing is doing affirmations. Affirmations will help to transform you from the inside out, and that is more sustainable. It's more sustainable to be affirmed and to grow from the inside out instead of waiting for the outside world.